Hello, everybody. Welcome back. This is the Chelsea Rundown, episode 40 for the Dolphins' thirds rounds 12 and 13. It was a Bonbeach doubleheader. As always, I'm joined by Ace. Ace, how you doing tonight, mate?
And it'll be a Bonbeach triple header after this weekend as we face Bonbeach Blue again. And hopefully we can put the screws to them again. No, I shouldn't really say that because each game has been rather competitive and they've been managed to keep us pretty well under control in the batter's box. But looking forward, great to be back. Thanks very much. Sorry that we couldn't get these out every week. We've both been pretty damn busy.
Oh, yeah.
And we look forward to knocking this one out of the park for you.
It's going to be great. And this one is covering the game for Saturday, 27th of July. As we said, Chelsea v Bonbeach Blue. Ace, take me through that lineup, mate.
Pretty standard, I think. Dazza, Jess, myself, Mace, T-Bagger, Big Brooksy, Liesel, Travis Moore, Jacob, Sweetie, Nasty, and the big Drew Bagger is back.
He's back, baby, and he's loving every minute of it. Ace, how did we go in the field?
Yeah, look, this one was a bit of a wet, windy, cold day. Perfect for a dolphin if you'd like to be a bit of a dolphin. But yeah, there wasn't too much really sort of going on. It was a bit of a slow affair, I believe. You know, we had Mason sort of up on the mound for the whole game, and when Mason's pitching well, it doesn't really give the team too many opportunities to do too much. So he controlled the things pretty well, and everyone was just sort of making plays where they needed to make plays. And you know, that's kind of what we expect with these sorts of games. There was one hell of a play by the Dazzler, Razzle Dazzle. He probably performed nearly the play of the year. A little bit of funny shenanigans going on with a few players from the other Bonbeach team coming in to fill in. But look, that's what it was. And look, I can't really say too much about it because it was a pretty low-scoring affair. And, yeah, we just sort of went out there and we did what we needed to do.
It was very enjoyable in the field. As you said, Mason throwing a hell of a game and Trav catching off to him beautifully. Good work, fellas. But, Ace, how did we look in the batting box?
Yeah, again, sort of a bit of a weird one. 9 hits on the day, only multiple hitters, yourself, T-Bagger, on a bit of a steamrolling effort. And Brooksy there, but, you know, singles to Jess, myself, Mace, Liesel, and Sweetie. Not a lot going on, but look, we managed to put more runs over than they did. And at the end of the day, that's all you can really ask for. I feel like, I'm not too sure. I feel like maybe it's been echoed coming into finals that maybe we're all sort of getting a little bit ahead of ourselves, and it's feeling like a bit of a long season. And probably the last couple of weeks, the weekend just passed excluded. It's been very wet and very cold and very windy. So it's probably zapped a little bit of the energy out of the team, and you sort of can see that. You can see that in our scoring and our batting. So look,
you can also see it right there, mate, on home plate. Look at the puddle we were batting from.
Yeah, look, and this is winter baseball, and you know, sometimes you get a lot of rain, and sometimes you're lucky and it completely misses you. But when it's freezing cold out there, and you got a double glove just to hold the baseball bat, and your fingers are going cold in the glove, you definitely know about it. So look, we did enough to get things done, and that's what we did.
Indeed, we did, mate. What was that final score?
2-6 on this one. Like I said, it wasn't the bells and whistles. There weren't a lot of fireworks going on. It was just a hard slog of a fight between two teams battling out in the cold and the wet.
It was a great game, good challenge, very enjoyable opponents, Bonbeach Blue. Thanks for playing, fellas. It was great, but Ace, let's bring it in to everyone's favourite segment, shall we?
Yeah, so I'll start it off with big sexy number 39, big Mace the ace. He absolutely clobbered this thing out to centre left, probably more left than centre, but this thing went an absolute country mile. And I don't know if you watched the video back, I was turning around second and I turned back to Mace and I started jogging in like, that's a home run faux show. And this thing went an absolute mile, but it was definitely the biggest double that I've ever seen.
It was an absolutely massive hit. Great work, Mason. Ace, whom is Golden Flipper nominee 2 this week, please?
I'm giving this one to the blonde bomber herself, young Liesel, you know, the toddler. She made a bit of a oopsie daisy out in centre field. She dropped a fly ball catch, but she made up for it in stunning performance by picking up the ball pretty well as quickly as she dropped it, made an absolute killer of a throw to Jess that cut off a short, which gave Jess the ability to make a throw over to third base for Brooksy for the tag out. Look, sometimes, you know, errors are funny things, but if you can sort of bounce back in a play like this, it's just a sediment to, you know, the perfection of Liesel and having the ability to sort of pounce on it and sort of make a play out of sort of nothing. So hats off to you, Liesel, the blonde bomber, the little toddler. You get nomination number 2 this week.
That was great. Good on you, Liesl. Nice work. And look at Brooksy there, just knowing exactly where and when to be for the play. It was fantastic. Top skills on display there from Brooksy. Also, Ace, nominee 3 this week, please.
Yeah, saved the best for last, and not to take anything away from the last 2 nominations, but this play was something special. Razzle dazzle. You know, every week he does something pretty amazing. You know, if he's not stealing bases left, right, and centers and getting hit by pitches, then he's just doing little things like this. And he had no reason for this little pop-up fly ball going over his head at first base to get a glove anywhere near it. But he sort of just tracked it down by his own word. He just put a prayer up, had the glove up in the air, and it just fell into the glove. And he took it nicely, and he had the know-how to sort of get back down and tag Fish, who got a bit too much of a lead at first. I think Fish was probably of the same mindset of all of us. He wasn't going to catch that ball, but as he always does, time and time again, Razzle Dazzle just performs a little bit of razzle and a little bit of dazzle, and he gets nomination number 1 this week. Oh, number 3, I should say.
He does, mate. Not only did he put his glove up for it, look at him leap off the ground there as well. There was a flying leap and a catch. It was a beautiful play by you, Daz. I loved this little double play all by himself. So Daz gets my nominee this week. Ace, where's your vote sitting?
Yeah, I couldn't go past the Razzle Dazzle. Well, I was pretty excited to see it, and you know, I've got a bit of love for the Ellingson family household. So yeah, look, like I said, I didn't think he was going to catch that ball, but the fact that he did, and then had the know-how to get back and for the tag out for a double play in a close game like this,
yeah,
they're the difference makers, and that's why we're winning.
They are. It was great. Heads up baseball. Tell me, how did the Facebook poll shape out this week?
Yeah, look, not a complete landslide, and Razzle Dazzle obviously walked away with 9 votes. Liesl, the blonde bomber, the little toddler, she got 2, and that's about the age that she's at. And Big Sexy number 39 just got the 1 for the biggest double of the year.
It was an absolutely beautiful hit. Okay, let's have a quick look at the club results for the week, shall we, Ace?
A little bit of a disappointing one around the league. I feel like I think that's why the Fisher brothers came down and were playing for the other Bonbeach, because there seemed to be a lot of washouts. You know, potentially could have been a washout down at our place, but we played through it. But the 1s and 2s both got washed out down in Frankston.
Hats off to Drew for getting down there early and making the diamond playable on a wet and miserable day. Thank you, Drew. Your efforts are not missed by any of us. Top stuff. That will bring us through to match 2 today. This is, of course, Saturday, the 3rd of August, where Chelsea, we went up against Bonbeach White. Ace, tell me, what was the lineup, please?
Razzle Dazzle, Jess, Brooksy, myself, getting back down that 4 spot. Teabagger backing me up. Big Willie, Liesl, Travis Moore, Jacob, Connor, Allison, Darcy, and Drew. And unfortunately, this week, Mace was out with a bit of the man flu, I believe. But he did come down, sink cans, and support from the sideline. His thought process was he was going to try and drink the flu to death.
I like the thinking, and I appreciate the support. Good on you, Mace, for coming down and backing your team even when you couldn't be on the field. Speaking of the field, Ace, how did we doing it?
Yeah, look, it was an interesting one, and we obviously know these guys are second on the ladder, and they're probably our main competition this year. You know, they're a really strong side. They're a really strong hitting side. Their best trait about everything is the fact that they can hit those gaps, and they seem to do that all day. And they didn't really give us too many opportunities to make too many plays, but that's just a seasoned team, you know, and we also sort of have those abilities every now and then to sort of make that. If teams are sort of dissecting you and just picking little gaps, I think there was a couple I was out and left that sort of two line drives, and I think there was one that just popped over Jess's head. Just little touch plays that just sort of made the difference, and we weren't able to make plays on them. And, you know, hats off to them. We didn't make too many errors on the day. We just sort of went out there and did our own thing. Big Willie took the mound for us. I thought he was really amicable in 4 innings, and Drury came in for the last 2. Both of them did a really good job, but unfortunately, when you're playing a team of this sort of caliber, they're going to get a few hits, and that's what they did to us. They got a couple of hits, and they found the gaps a lot of times. And you know, I think we did our best bit to sort of stop those hits turning into anything bigger than what they should have been. Strong hitting team. And we look forward to playing them in the grand final, knock on wood, and hopefully we can fill those gaps for them.
Indeed. We have more training to do before we get into the finals, though. Tell me, how did we look in the batting box?
Yeah, not a bad batting day. Probably, you know, led off by Brooksy, Massing going 3 for 3 on the day. 11 hits in total, multiple hits getters is your lovely wife, J-Dog, and Big Willie, one who also turned a triple. Probably should have been a double, but the centre fielder just seemed to give up on this play. Then, Big Willie used his Big Willie legs. I'm surprised his third leg didn't get in the way and he tripped over, but no, he didn't. He kept running and managed to turn it into a triple. Singles to sort of Daz, Liesel and Travis Moore and Connor Ellingson. Great to have Connor back down playing with us where he belongs, I feel, because we have a great camaraderie with Con. It was a very even back and forth game all day. They tried a different pitcher. I think his name was Plugger. Obviously, they know that we're going to probably meet them in the finals and they're not going to show us their best stuff and we're not going to show them ours. Just a bit of an arm wrestle of a day, against the really quality side. So, look, we hit pretty well, I think. And we tried to turn the bases where we could. We did all right in the end, but sadly, we didn't come away with a win.
We didn't, unfortunately, but tell me, mate, what was the final score?
Yeah, 6-7 on this one. Like I said, it was an arm wrestle, sort of going back and forth all day. There was many opportunities for each team to sort of seal it. I know I got pretty unlucky on one of my at-bats. I think there was a runner at second and third, and I hit a pretty hard ground ball, and it hit a divot and just popped right up in the air to the pitcher's hands, and he was able to get the out at one. We're already two down. So, just little things like that are pretty frustrating. And look, we'll work on things over the season, and hopefully we'll iron them out before finals.
I love the sound of that, mate. Tell me, Golden Flipper. This round, whom was nominee one, please?
I'm going to give it to the big bareback bandit himself, and I don't know if you got the audio. There's a big gap out in right field, and I said to him, hey, mate, there's a big gap out in right field. And like Brooksy does, so many times he just puts the ball wherever he actually wants to put the ball. He's actually got it on a string. He might as well be out there playing yo-yo, because a lot of the times I feel like we're all playing checkers and Brooksy's playing chess. He's just an absolute magician when he's got a bit of wood in his hand, and you can tell that by how many kids he's got. So yeah, absolutely love Brooksy's effort. The fact that he sees a hole and basically that's where he puts it, and that's why he has so many kids.
Great work, Brooksy. All right, Ace, nominee 2 this week, please.
Yeah, I had to give it to Big Will, the third-legged wonder, when he managed to turn around second and hit this triple. I know he's had a little bit of a hitting slump, but to see him have a bit of success on the weekend was absolutely terrific. Love to see it from Big Willie. He's come down. He's really taken on the D grade, the Dolphin. Now, what is the D grade? Oh, well, it's because we put the D in Dolphin. He really has come down, and he's accepted our sort of us for all our quirks and perks, and I feel like he's really bought in. So really loving his efforts. If he's not up there pitching, but it was great to see him have a bit of success with the bat.
Yeah, it was great. Good on you, Will. Great bloody hit. Ace, nominee 3, please.
And try not to blush on this one, Teabag, because it's going to you, because you're an absolute jet out in centre field all day. And I think it was 3 or 4 catches, Teabag. You're catching bloody everything. You're on absolute fire. I think, though, for me, the one that really stood out was that hit that sort of went a bit over second base, and you sort of tracked this thing down like an absolute A train, and you got the sprint on, and you put the glove out, and you just never looked like you were going to miss it. It was a great catch by you. It was a great game by you in total. Absolutely, pumped to be out there with you, and pumped to see you get a bit of success like that. So nomination number 1, well, it's number 3. But for me, it's number 1 is you, Teabagger.
Oh, thank you very much, sir. I appreciate it. And the kind words. Obviously, I can't be voting for myself this week. So I'm going to throw my vote into Brooksy's double. It was an absolutely masterclass in how you hit it into the gap, as you said earlier, Ace. Where's your vote landing, mate?
Teabag, I can't go past you, son. I can't go past you, Teabagger. I love being out there with you. I love your energy. I love the competitive spirit. And it's definitely slotted with you, Teabag. You're watching you over the past, I think it's 4 seasons now, watching you just improve, year by year by year by year has just been an absolute pleasure. And, when I see you out there full of confidence, and you just never look like you weren't going to catch that ball. It goes to you, Teabag.
Beautiful, mate. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Tell me, how did the Facebook poll shape up, please?
Yeah, so Teabag, if he's leading off with 8 votes, the Big Willie, the third eye monster, he finished with 1, and Brooksy got the 2.
Excellent work, everybody. Thank you for the votes. Now, Ace, tell me the club results for the week. How did we look across the board?
Yeah, so the 1s and 2s were playing Dingley. The 2s had a 3-3 draw, and the 1s were unfortunately defeated 2-7 against Dingley. I think Dingley are a pretty solid side. So losses across the board, except for the 2s. They were flying that draw flag. And a reminder, everyone, we're playing at 5:30 this weekend, so we may have an opportunity to get down and watch the 1s and 2s and just give them a little bit of banter.
We've got 1s and 2s at home, followed by us, the 3rds also at home for the 5:30 game. That will do it for this double header episode of Bonbeach. Opposition's fantastic work, fellas. Always a joy to play against you, even when you're beating us. It hurts, but it's fun. Ace, thank you very much for co-hosting again this week, mate.
Just remember, the pod always swims strongest together.